Hello, Live Masters. It's your Live Master Chavez coming to you with a question of the day. Happy Thursday. Today's question of the day is, are you in information overload right now? I mean, have you ever had this problem where there's just so many things that you want to focus on and you want to do? You know, so much information coming at you, you get overloaded. You know, they say a confused mind does nothing. So that's the question of the day today. Give me a few seconds. I want to make sure that we're streaming live to YouTube, and we're also streaming it live into Live Masters for the question of the day. So as you come in on the question of the day, if you're live or on the replay, let me know that you're here. Let me invite a few people into this broadcast, because I don't think Facebook's really shouting it out too much here. Let me put this in a couple of the chat groups. Hopefully we can get some people to come in and say hello. Information overload. First, I'm going to share a story with you in a couple of seconds about why I'm talking about this. I think I'm information overloaded. What's up, Christina? How you doing? Let me know who's here. I just seen Christina come in the broadcast on my phone over here. So hopefully you can hear me a little bit better. I got this microphone from my whatever the Facebook here is. Say hello, hello. So I got my microphone working, and yeah, I'm just going to get into the question of the day because I don't want to keep you too much. Maybe that's why nobody's really on here right now, because everyone is consuming all this crazy information. Are you being overloaded with information? Okay, so the reason I'm asking this question is there are so many people online right now. There's some challenges that are going on, and actually there was a challenge right today, right now, as I speak to you, it's still going. They had a marathon, and so they had 20 speakers back to back to back to back to back. And I got to tell you, you know, me having ADHD, it's really hard for me to sit through. You know, I've been in this challenge, you know, for this is like day 17. Every day there's been amazing speakers. It's been about a little over an hour. But my mentor has this saying that the mind can only absorb what the butt can endure, right? So like how much is too much? When do you need to just stop and take a break and know that you've gotten enough information, know that you've gotten enough to process, and you've gotten enough to start working on something, to actually do something, instead of continuing to, you know, consume content. I'll face it, listen, I've been guilty of this in the past, of just getting in training mode, you know, overtraining. If you think of an athlete, right? If the athletes, they train. But if an athlete overtrains, when it's time for them to perform, and they're overtraining is not necessarily a good thing. So you want to make sure that, you know, all this information, it's great. I give you tons of free information, you know, and the thing about it is the information is free. A lot of the stuff that I share, I learned freely, right? But what are you going to do with the information? Can you just get so much information poured onto you that your cup is overflowing? How are you going to know what to do with that information to apply what you've learned effectively? Are you being overloaded with all this free courses and all these, you know, amazing offers? It can be quite daunting. It can be quite overwhelming, right? Because a confused mind does nothing. There's so many, what do they call it? Shiny ball syndrome, shiny, whatever they call it, syndrome, right? So but that's my question to you today. Are you, stop watching news on Facebook. You're on Facebook. Yeah, I'm sure you're learning a lot. Now, are you being overloaded with information? Now, I'm talking in context, not information that is the news, not that information. That information, that's a given that we don't even, that there's just too much of that. All right. I love the saying, you know why negativity is worthless? Because there's so much of it. Okay. That's the news. But the question that I'm asking you for the question of the day, in the context of, is it too much? Like, how much could you really retain in a day? Have you ever been to an event, like a 3-day event where it's like 3, 4, 5, you know, it's 8 hours a day, and then like you go the next day. I mean, you can have 24 hours in an event in 3 days. Think about that for a second. And I love the saying, though, the mind can only absorb what the butt can endure. Are you being overloaded right now with all this stuff that's going on with the ability and the opportunities and the options to learn stuff? How much can you take? How much could you apply? It's pretty crazy, right? It is pretty crazy. So listen, I hope this video finds you well. I look forward to the answers to the question, are you being overloaded with information? You know, and here's another question. How are you? I guess it comes down to prioritizing your time, right? You know, we always will find time for things that are important to us, right? Some people say they don't have time for things, but yeah, stretch the info out. Stretch the info out. Exactly. Yeah. You have to we make time for the things that are important to us. And you might not be aware of it, but if yeah, so just think about that for a second. You're making time for whatever is important to you. It's really simple. So listen, guys, the question of the day today is, are you are you being overloaded with information? How do you disseminate it? How do you process it? How do you prioritize your time on what you're going to focus on? Are you being overloaded with information? Question of the day in Live Masters Live and on YouTube Live. We'll talk to you guys later. Good night, everybody.